His new album, Soundtrack to the Struggle, comes out next week. Please welcome to the platform, Loki.
Thank you very much. The first thing I would like to say is what are and what is a weapon of mass destruction? A weapon of mass destruction is the depleted uranium, which means that babies being born today in Iraq are born with 2 heads. Babies are born with 1 arm, are born with incredible deformities. Now we have to ask ourselves a question, us in comfortable London, surrounded as we are by police and everything else. Would we accept that for our children? And why is it we expect other people to accept that for theirs? It's really simple. Do you think unmanned drones are weapons of mass destruction? Unmanned drones which are dropping bombs on Yemen, on Somalia, on Pakistan, on Afghanistan, on Libya, on Iraq. That is a weapon of mass destruction, real mass destruction. And all of this talk about democracy, let me ask you a question. Is a country that goes to war and sends its sons to kill and die against the will of a majority of its population a democracy? Is that democracy? When over 1 million people take to the streets and tell you, we don't want you to do this, and you go ahead and you do this. Does this equal democracy? And we can sit here so convinced of our own supremacy, so convinced of the own supremacy of our own humanity, as if we are more human than other people, with our arrogance. Sleep comfortably. This is being done in our name. What is wrong with us? How have we allowed this to become so normal and normalized? Shame upon us for allowing this to take place and living with this. We need to understand that humanity is one body. Humanity is one body. We are not independent of any other part of that body, much less living in the country which defined the borders of Afghanistan over 100 years ago and defined the borders of Iraq less than 100 years ago. We are independent from no one. We have to take this in our own hands and take control of this situation, because it is clear there are people who are working against the interests of humanity. And they talk about democracy in the Middle East and dictatorships in the Middle East. The biggest dictator in the Middle East, who has imprisoned the most people, who has ethnically cleansed the most people, who has displaced the most people, who has murdered the most people, has a name. That dictator is called the State of Israel. And I'll tell you this, you talk about democracy in Arab countries. If you had democracy in Arab countries, not one of the governments would be pro-Israeli. Not one of them. Not one of them. There wouldn't be any more American military bases on the land. You think it takes a rocket scientist to work this out? Look at the chants that people are chanting on the street, even in Tunisia. What are they talking about? They are not talking about peace and love with the State of Israel. It has tortured our people. What do you expect from people? So the first one I want to do is called terrorist. And When I say I'm all about peace and love, I want you to say I'm all about peace and love. Back to me, please. Okay? They're calling me a terrorist, like they don't know who the terror is. When they put it on me, I tell them this: I'm all about peace and love. But they're calling me a terrorist, like they don't know who the terror is. Insulting my intelligence. Oh, how these people judge. It seems like the ragheads and packies are worrying your dad, but your dad's favorite food is curry and kebab. It's funny, but it's sad how they make your mummy hurry with her bags. Rather read the Sun and study all the facts. Tell me, what's a bigger threat to human society? BAE systems or homemade IEDs? Remote control drones killing off human lives, or man with homemade bomb committing suicide? I know you were terrified when you saw the towers fall. It's all terror, but some forms are more powerful. It seems nuts. How could there be such agony when more Israelis die from peanut allergies? It's like the definition didn't ever exist. I guess it's all just dependent who the nemesis is. Irrelevant how eloquent the rhetoric peddler is. They're telling fibs. Now tell us who the terrorist is. They're calling me a terrorist, like they don't know who the terror is. When they put it on me, I tell them this: I'm all about peace and love. But they're calling me a terrorist, like they don't know who the terror is. Insulting my intelligence. Oh, how these people judge. Listen. Lumumba was democracy, Mossadegh was democracy, and there was democracy. Hypocrisy, it bothers me. Call you terrorists if you don't want to be a colony. Refuse to bow down to a policy of robbery. Is terrorism my lyrics when more Vietnam vets killed themselves after the war than died in it? This is very basic. One nation in the world has over 1,000 military bases. They say it's religion, when clearly it isn't. It's not just Muslims that oppose your imperialism. Is Hugo Chavez a Muslim? I didn't think so. Is Castro a Muslim? I didn't think so. It's like the definition didn't ever exist. I guess it's all just dependent who your nemesis is. Irrelevant how eloquent the rhetoric peddler is. They're telling fibs. Now tell us who the terrorist is. So, when we look at the history of the United States in relation to democracy in the quote-unquote third world, what happened to Mossadegh? He wanted to nationalize what is now the BP, British Petroleum. What happened to this man? What happened to Allende? What happened to Lumumba? What happened to Nkrumah? What policies are they now pushing against Mr. Chavez, Mr. Morales in Bolivia, Mr. Carrera in Ecuador? These are democratically elected leaders. And because their policies are reflecting the will of the people, they are going against the wishes of the United States and the CIA. It's not complicated. It's not complicated. So the next one is going to be Long Live Palestine. This might be Mr. Owate calling me now. He's let me down big time today. So when I say Long Live Palestine, I want you to say Long Live Gaza. Are you with me? Are you with me? Palestine, Ramallah, West Bank, Gaza. This is for the child that is searching for an answer. Wish I could take your tears and replace them with laughter. Long live Palestine! Long live Palestine! Long live Palestine! While we listen to tunes made by ignorant fools, Israel blocked the UN from delivering food. They bring in the troops and we won't even glimpse of the news. They make money off the products that we are quick to consume. And this is not simply a question of differing views. Forget emotions, this is facts. What I spit is the truth. It's not about if you're a Christian or if you're a Jew. They're just people living in different conditions to you. They still die when you bomb their schools, mosques and hospitals. And it's not because of rockets. Please God, can you stop this all? I'm not related to the strangers on the TV, but I relate because those strangers could have been me. Words could never ever explain the raw tragedy. This is not a war, they're just murdering more rapidly. And we are automatically supporting pure savagery. Imagine how you feel if this was your family. This is for Palestine, Ramallah, West Bank, Gaza. This is for the child that is searching for the answer. Wish I could take your tears and replace them with laughter. Long live Palestine! Long live Palestine! Long live Palestine! This is not just a war over stolen land. Why do you think there's little boys throwing stones at tanks? And we'll never really know how many people are dead. They drop bombs on little girls while they sleep in their bed. And don't get offended by facts, just try and listen. Nothing is more anti-Semitic than Zionism. So please don't bring bad vibes when you speak to me, because there's plenty of rabbis that agree with me. It's your choice what you do with this message. Don't get confused. I view this from a human perspective. How many more resolutions have to be violated? How many more children have to be annihilated? Israel is a terror state. Terrorists that terrorize. I testify my television, televise and telling lies. This is not a war. It's like systematic genocide. But wherever they try, Palestine will never die. Long live Palestine! Long live Palestine! Long live Palestine! Thank you very much. Peace and love.
Loki!